Ted Bundy?
I've never spoken to anybody about this.
In the 1970s, one man terrorized America in a way no one could have imagined. He was charming, intelligent, handsome. People trusted him instantly. But behind that friendly smile was a monster, responsible for some of the most horrifying crimes in modern history. This is the disturbing true story of Ted Bundy, a man who lived a double life, hiding pure evil behind a mask of normality. And by the time police finally caught him, dozens of young women had already vanished. Ted Bundy was born November 24, 1946, in Burlington. From the beginning, his life was filled with secrets. Bundy grew up believing his grandparents were his parents, and that his mother was actually his sister. The truth about his birth was hidden from him for years. Many psychologists later believed this identity confusion may have deeply affected his development. As a child, Bundy appeared quiet and intelligent. Neighbors described him as polite and well-mannered, but there were early warning signs. Some childhood friends later recalled disturbing behaviors, fascination with violence, stealing, and spying on neighbors. Still, no one imagined what he would eventually become. In the late 1960s, Bundy attended the University of Washington in Seattle. To everyone around him, he seemed like the perfect young man. He studied psychology. He volunteered for political campaigns. He even worked at a suicide hotline, helping people in emotional distress. Friends described him as smart, confident, and charismatic. Women trusted him easily. But behind the scenes, Bundy was living a secret life filled with dark fantasies and violent urges. Those fantasies would soon turn into real crimes. In 1974, young women in Washington began disappearing. College students vanished without a trace. At first, the disappearances seemed unrelated, but investigators eventually noticed a disturbing pattern. Witnesses described a tall, handsome man with a cast on his arm. He approached women asking for help loading books into his car. Many people remembered the same detail. He introduced himself as Ted. One of the most shocking incidents happened at Lake Sammamish State Park. In broad daylight, multiple witnesses saw Bundy talking to women. That same day, 2 women disappeared. Police finally realized they were dealing with a serial predator. In 1975, Bundy moved to Utah. Soon after, the disappearances continued. But this time, Bundy made a mistake. A police officer stopped his car late at night. Inside the vehicle, investigators found disturbing items: handcuffs, a ski mask, rope, a crowbar. The car itself became key evidence. It was a Volkswagen Beetle that witnesses had repeatedly described near crime scenes. Police finally had their main suspect. Bundy was arrested, but the story was far from over. In 1977, Bundy shocked the world. He escaped from jail while acting as his own lawyer in Aspen. Bundy asked to visit the courthouse library. Moments later, he jumped out of a second-floor window and ran into the mountains. Authorities searched for days before finally capturing him again. But incredibly, Bundy escaped a second time. This time, he managed to flee all the way to Florida. And what happened next would become the darkest chapter of his crimes. In January 1978, Bundy broke into a sorority house near Florida State University. Inside the Chi Omega sorority house, several young women were attacked while they slept. 2 students were murdered. 2 others survived with severe injuries. The brutal attack shocked the entire country. Just weeks later, Bundy abducted 12-year-old Kimberly Leach. Her disappearance triggered a massive manhunt. Soon after, police finally captured Bundy again following a traffic stop. This time, he would never escape. Bundy's trial in Florida became one of the first nationally televised trials in American history. Millions watched as Bundy defended himself in court. Even during the trial, he attempted to charm the jury and the audience, but the evidence against him was overwhelming. Forensic experts linked bite marks on one victim to Bundy's teeth. Witnesses identified him. Physical evidence connected him to the crimes. The jury reached a verdict. Guilty. Bundy was sentenced to death. While on death row, Bundy finally began confessing. Investigators believe he murdered at least 30 women, but many experts believe the true number could be far higher. Bundy admitted that he targeted young women who resembled a former girlfriend. He described how he manipulated victims using fake injuries to gain sympathy. His crimes revealed a chilling truth. Evil does not always look like a monster. Sometimes, it looks like someone you would trust. On January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed in Stark, Outside the prison, crowds gathered cheering for many families. It was the end of a long nightmare. The story of Ted Bundy remains one of the most disturbing crime cases in history. He fooled friends, he fooled police, and for years, he fooled the entire country. His case changed how investigators understand serial killers, and it served as a terrifying reminder. Sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones who seem the most normal.